Bro, I get that move wrong every time. Ooh. Look at him. Dang, he got them fast spin attack. Oh, he over the construction. Golly, folded over the construction. Oh, now he doing too much. Alright, what's up, folks? I'll say, okay, DK with me, myself, and I again. Why is that cat be staring at me like that? Let me just continue.
Just the two I've been waiting for. Excellent work, by the way.
Hey, got those burner phones ready?
Of course I do. Who do you think I am?
Tsukumo.
I still don't fully get what's going on. Yagami-san, what are we gonna do with these?
Okay.
We finna
break
trap.
it down. First, we call Kawana on one phone. Let's say this one here. Then we use this other phone to call Reiko Kusamoto. Using them that way. The phones won't be connected to each other, but their voices will be relayed so they can talk normally.
It won't cause no feedback or anything.
Okay. And then?
If public security finds out Reiko Kusamoto's talking to Kawana, they'll trace the call without actually finding him. And we can see exactly who they send without risk of being seen ourselves.
I think I'm getting it.
Surely you don't intend to do that here, do you? That would put a beacon on us for Kawana-san's enemies.
Yeah, we'll do it somewhere remote. We need a place where nobody would raise an eyebrow at an army of public security boys.
RK
And it's gotta
headquarters.
have a good vantage point.
I don't know.
There's a building under construction not far from here. It's late, so no one should be around that may get involved unintentionally.
Where is it?
It's right near Seirio High. There's a crane by the river, too. You'll know when you see it.
Okay, you two stay put. I should be able to handle this alone.
You
Still
sure
got
about
scars
that?
on my face.
Let me at least put out a drone, Yagami-shi, even if it isn't much. I'll use it to capture the faces of Kawana-san's pursuers.
Thank you.
That'd be good.
Let's get to a fire ready. I'm ready to fight. Ready to scrap. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me get a sick clip in real quick. Bruh. Okay. Next time I will. I need to remove some bass out of my voice.
This must be the construction site Tsukumo was talking about.
My voice too deep, though. It looked kind of like a little frog doing like a spread eagle.
Yagami-shi, I've confirmed your position.
Yeah. I think I can spot whoever comes close from here. I'm gonna call Kawana on the burner now.
Understood. It's Kawana.
You ready? I'm about to call Reiko Kusamoto. Once you're connected, you take it from there.
It's been 5 years since I last spoke to her.
Yeah. Can't imagine this won't be awkward.
I know. Okay, do it.
Using. Oh, he taped it together. How you gonna call though with the screen taped to the bottom of the? They ain't gonna show it in the cutscene because it's impossible. Dang. Oh yeah, her son is in a coma. That's a loud vibration. It must be older than the 7. 7 got little pulses.
Yes, hello?
This is Kitakata from Kurakawa Academy.
What?
You'll have to forgive me for this, but the position I'm in required me to reach out to you. I would never have done this otherwise. I should also note, there's a high probability this phone call is being tapped.
I see. Very well, then.
It's been 13 years, Kusumoto-san.
So it has.
Kitakata-sensei.
Oh, they flying it around on the drone?
Accomplishments. To think you'd become a vice minister.
You never really know how things are going to work out.
But that's not true at all, Kusumoto-san. You were always destined to move up in the world. I've got to be honest with you. A woman as virtuous and as capable as you deserves the world and then some.
But how is Mitsuru-kun?
I'm afraid he's still asleep. Nothing's changed.
I see.
You would have heard about it if it did change.
I wish I had the words.
What is it you wanted?
If you've been watching the news, you've probably already heard. I've become a prime suspect for a crime. They think I murdered Yokosawa in her apartment.
I've heard.
Obviously, it wasn't me who killed her, of course. Do you happen to remember Sawa-kun by any chance?
The girl from your class. She was the only one of those students who ever came to visit Mitsuru. But even then, that's been at least 10 years now. I got a letter from her once. She wanted to tell me she'd become a teacher. But I never did reply. And that was the last I'd heard from her.
I see.
So back to my question. What do you want?
I hope you weren't planning to ask me for a favor. I'm afraid the answer would be no.
No, it's not that. It's just... I wanted to let you know that at some point, someone may come to you to ask a few questions about me. I thought I should give you a heads up. I'll make every effort to ensure they won't cause any trouble for you, Kusumoto-san. I'm sorry about this. I'll try to handle it from my side.
So in your opinion then, do you believe anything related to you could cause me any trouble?
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll be just fine.
We're almost to the signal. Kill the headlights.
That's dangerous, though.
2 cars inbound. Looks like we were right on the money. This proves Reiko Kusumoto's phone is compromised. And if there's one organization capable of tracing a call and moving on it, it's gotta be public security on the hunt for Kawana.
Public security is really coming straight to you by car?
They fast, too. That was like 1 minute.
Their people that quickly. My guess, it's gotta be the prefectural police that they've got in their pocket.
I don't even know who those
RK.
people are.
I will say it's been great to hear your voice again.
All these organizations.
But this should be the last time you
I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know what's happening.
Try my best.
I understand. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All black cars. Oh, you know they ready to murk me. They finna have to fight. Is it RK? They look like they RK.
Hey, look. It's a drone.
Am I gonna catch it? If I catch the phone, I'll look so clean.
Shoot it. Shoot it down.
You sure?
Just take it down. Hurry it up.
Oh, he got guns. That's loud.
Hey, what the fuck are you aiming at?
Oh my gosh, he sucks.
It's too small. Shit.
Damn, dude. How the hell are we supposed to chase down a drone? And where the fuck is this Kawana guy?
Who knows, man? They called us in to catch this shithead, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? It's fucked up.
Real
Do we
deep.
look like spec ops?
Yeah, right. But at least you gotta shoot that thing.
This is my second time, actually. I took a few shots at some kids in a park.
For real.
I aimed at the ground and sent those little shits running for their lives.
We're done here. Pack it in.
Them boosts don't go with that though.
That's
How much
6
ammo he
punks
got?
and only 1 gun between you by my count.
Dang.
Who the fuck are you?
It was you guys in charge. I'm sure Kawana would
Now
have
my
had this
fingerprints are
whole
on the
thing
gun,
solved
though.
a long time ago. Well, then again, I suppose I do have to give you credit for how fast you made it here.
That was my gun, asshole!
Who's the one giving the orders? You may as well just level with me. You guys are RK's bottom rung, right?
He sounds like you must know Kawana. Well, I guess we're not gonna.
Bro, is my phone ringing again?
Ended after all. Come on, we're taking this guy in, boys. Fuck him up.
I wish you hadn't.
Bro, is my phone ringing that whole time? Hold on, bro. I forgot to play. Wait. Alright. Gotta be careful because I'm on hard mode, you know. Oh, he got the weaves a little bit. I just throw you into them. Good. Oh, he got something. He got a little fighting experience. Oh, hold on. I'm not running away. I'm just hungry. You know. Oh yeah. Oh, dang it, bro. I get that move wrong every time. Ooh. Look at him. What is it called? Oh yeah, leave hurricane. It's not that strong though. I think it's just like to clear the. I think it's just like to clear the room. Like get some space, you know. I can't do nothing against that. Oh, he think he cool. Get this tiger. He's strong. He's strong. This stance is like a cure-all. It's good against everybody. Oh, you scared? You scared? Look at this. Wimp. Idiot. Oh. I'm not finna redo this fight, so. Give me that. Dang, he got them fast spin attack. Oh, he over the construction. Golly, folded over the construction. Oh, now he doing too much.
Who sent you here?
Stay
The order
down.
came from the head honchos in RK.
You mean Soma?
Not that high up. It was one of the bosses. There's a bunch of them.
What did they tell you to do once
You
you
came to
found
execute
Kawana?
somebody with the open-toed sandals.
They just said to catch him. Well, they also made it very clear not to kill him.
Never mind.
Like we'd pull the trigger. We never even heard what our cut was.
Just another useless grunt.
Dang. That's gotta hurt your soul.
Tell me, gentlemen, how would you feel if you found out you were just pawns in public security's game?
We're playing what game now?
Don't talk to this man.
I suggest you quit RK while you can. Go tell your buddies, get them out too. Otherwise, they'll keep you in the
That one on the
dark,
right over there with the
use
green
you,
shoes, he
toss
kind of
you
got dripped.
aside. And then, you'll end up in a ditch there's no crawling out of.
Dang.
Yes?
I can heckle out.
Pardon me. You would be Reiko Kusumoto, correct?
Sir. It's a little late for this. And how'd you get in here in the first place? I've expressly forbid having visitors.
Calm now.
He slept the security.
I'm a coordinator with the National Police Bureau, but I'm sure you're familiar with my division of public security. Bondo is my name.
Oh, I thought he was about to say Bando. I was about to say that sounded kind of clean.
Well, I'm afraid coordinator is rather vague.
I have a more public-facing title as well, of course. But I'm trying to be discreet here, so let's not get bogged down with minor details. It's in our best interests.
Bando.
I'm afraid that won't help. I've already...
He cut the cord? What are you gonna do? Beat me up? Beat her up, I mean?
What is this?
I say
It's
me.
a question I need answered with some urgency, Kusumoto-san. It concerns the disappearance of a certain individual.
Huh.
About 5 years ago, a man vanished off the streets of Kamurocho. I'm sure you'll recognize him. A former classmate of Mitsuru-kun here.
Bro, that selfie. Why do they keep using that picture, bro?
I believe there are things you might know. I can say that with some level of certainty, as a matter of fact.
So C's not against us, okay? Right? Oh, dang, they ain't gonna say, are you sure? I didn't mean to do that one. New chapter, though. Don't. Don't.
A shadow looms over Yagami and Koana. Japan's national intelligence.
We know what just happened. Skip. Undercover. Ooh, hold on. Hold on, cat.
You've done it again, Tsukumo. Can't believe you found it.
Tsukumo's the whole reason
I figured Mitsuru
We even
Kusumoto would be in one of the better hospitals
still running.
around the health ministry. That narrowed it down to just a few locations. Then I pinpointed the exact one through sheer determination.
And that led you to Toto University Hospital. So Mitsuru is still lying in a coma there?
Yep. Reiko Kusumoto has been visiting her son every night for the past 13 years. Even after she became vice minister. If you
Dang, every
gentlemen want to
night?
meet her in person, that would be your best chance.
Yagami, you seriously think you can convince Reiko Kusumoto to turn herself in?
He got some nice glasses.
Gonna try at least.
She's at the top of the food chain. If it comes out that she committed murder, the whole country's gonna lose it.
If they hadn't tried to hide it, nobody else would have needed to pay for it. Sawa-sensei.
Yeah. You're right.
And if she confesses to killing Kawai, public security will run out of reasons to keep defending RK. So in theory, that should free up the police to pursue Soma about Sawa-sensei.
Totally agree with you there.
But Kowana-san's against that, right? Didn't he say he wouldn't let her turn herself in?
Yeah. That's why he's not in the loop on this.
So, you're just gonna show up? You do know she's probably surrounded by public security at all times, don't you?
Just means we gotta be prepared for that. Like the professional detectives we are.
Prepared? How?
Just leave it to us. Yagami-san, I gotta go get ready. Let's meet at Toto University Hospital.
You don't go get ready for what? What are you doing?
See ya.
Got any old acquaintances in RK? Think you can find out where Soma and Akutsu are?
You forget who you're talking to? Why wouldn't I be able to cover that?
No need to be so
angry.
angry.
Guys who go in and out of RK on the regular.
Thanks. Watch your back. If they find out you're spying on them, they won't like it.
I'll be ready. Like the professional ex-Yakuza I am.
He's rough around the edges, but in the end he comes through.
Yeah. Turns
Sound
out
like
he's
a
got
proud
extra
father.
time on his hands.
Why don't you hire him at your office, Yagami-shi?
We should.
I'll talk about that with Kaito-san once he recovers.
That's a smart idea.
Anyway, sorry Tsukumo, but we have
Smart
to take
man.
Sugiura from you again.
Why start apologizing now? It's all good. We'll talk again soon.
I said the Toto University Hospital. I said head to the hospital where the mom is freaking watching over her son in a coma and tell her to turn herself in. Right in front of the son in a coma. Ooh, this looking like a nice cinematic. Something finna happen. Is that Sugiura? What if a different taxi came?
What are you? Don't worry. I'll give it back to you after this. I'm sure it's bugged, and we wouldn't want anyone listening in now, would we?
That's a clean suit. All taxi drivers have that clean
We'll take
suit.
a few laps around the block and then drop you back off at the hospital. Sorry, but we just need a bit of your time.
Very well. Who are you people?
We're just local detectives, but Kitakata-sensei is an acquaintance of ours. We know about Mitsuru-kun, and we know that 5 years ago, a man named Shinya Kawai mysteriously disappeared and died.
I have no idea what you're saying.
But
You
you
lying.
do. I know how this must come across right now, so I assure you, We aren't the ones posing a threat.
Fine. What is it you want, then?
All I want is the truth. In your own words. About Shinya Kawai, and how you carried out his murder.
Oh yes, he stabbed
You're
him.
mistaken. I didn't do it.
It's gonna be a long ride.
The other day you received a call from Kitakata-sensei, didn't you? He goes by the name Koana now, and works as a handyman in Ijincho. He made that call because we needed to confirm something.
Confirm what?
Whether or not you were being watched by public security.
Public security, you say?
As it turns out, you are. Your cell phone is bugged. It can even use GPS to trace who's on the other end of the line. That kind of trace is only possible with cooperation from the cellular providers. Unless you're public security, who could pull something like that off in secret.
Or Tsukumo.
They want to hit you where you're vulnerable. And that's what you are now after Koana. Do you understand, Kusamoto-san? You must really be something special. You were never in this job for yourself. It fell into your lap as your predecessors fell like dominoes. That's why you don't owe anyone anything. You're free of constraints. And Mitsuru-kun's tragedy even gained you public sympathy on top of it. Combine all that with a capable bureaucrat like you, there's no telling what you could accomplish. You're cleaning up house, tackling the revolving door problems. Things you know are the right moves, but with no regard for the consequences. I understand even the cabinet gauges your opinion, since you have so much public support. But I think that's also made you some enemies. Most likely whoever's holding public security's leash.
I have more than a few enemies. I'm well aware of that. And I have no doubt public security would comply with them. To be quite frank, public security only exists to maintain the status quo. The establishment is made up of various powers which control politics and finance. But naturally, each branch has its own agendas, goals, ideas of justice, which leads to all sorts of issues and hindrances, which you call constraints. The more individuals who make up society, the more unavoidable that is.
Are you implying it's public security's job to loosen those constraints?
There's more to it than that. The world we live in requires all kinds of value systems to coexist, even in chaos. But if you loosen the constraints too far, the fall of the state is inevitable. In that regard, public security's role is to stabilize and maintain the state, even while bound by constraints. In other words, the constraints of these powers are precisely what are protected by public security. So the fact that I am not caught up in all that does, indeed, make me something of a pesky foreign object.
A pesky foreign object. I see. So to these establishment people, you're something to be excised.
I guess there's bullying among adults in high places, too.
Yeah. Now we know why they were looking for any kind of weakness in you. And that's when they turned the spotlight on Shinya Kawai's disappearance. An event that was triggered by Akihiro Ihara's case. You know the one, I presume.
Yes.
An active duty policeman exacted revenge on the bully who drove his son to suicide. Your enemies must have heard that and thought to themselves, what would Reiko Kusamoto have done to her son's bully? I'm guessing that's what prompted public security to make their move. As the details of Ihara's case came to light, a group of thugs calling themselves RK started looking for Shinya Kawai, all to find out that he was kidnapped 5 years ago, probably killed.
I never did anything out of revenge.
Even after finding out Kawai disappeared, public security still had to verify it. But
Some
if they
nice
found
seats
out
for the
you were
taxi, bro.
involved, that'd be a win for them. They'd finally know Reiko Kusamoto's weakness.
How long are you going to keep talking?
Dang.
Public security figured out. The bullying cases involving Toshiro Ihara and your son share a common link. That link being Sawa-sensei. She was Mitsuru-kun's classmate and Toshiro Ihara's teacher.
That's a chair. I'm not farting.
Not only that, she was also linked to Ihara's murder victim, Mikoshiba. She was his master teacher. So, not long after the murder, RK came to Ijincho and broke into her home. That must have been when they got Kawana's name out of her. I think Sawa-sensei suspected that Kawana was involved in Mikoshiba's murder. Then Soma steps in, with his professional interrogation skills, to beat and scare her into spilling everything. Kusumoto-san, you knew she was killed, right? Kawana should have told you over the phone.
Wait, are you not one of his colleagues? He said he wouldn't cause me any trouble, and that he would never call me again.
Kawana and I are competitors on a temporary ceasefire. We're not colleagues.
Alright. They did.
Has anybody from public security contacted you? Have you been approached by any strangers?
I have my suspicions.
The guy that just bars into the hospital room.
I imagine what they wanted was to exploit your weakness to control you. Because if all they wanted was to eliminate you, some kind of accident would be easily arranged.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
Do you have any idea what these people are after? And do you mind sharing?
What they want is control of the pension fund, which is under the Health Ministry's jurisdiction.
Pension fund?
An independent agency.
Keep your eyes on the
within
road.
The ministry manages the National Pension Fund. It's taxpayer funded, and it's worth 160 trillion yen.
What?
Wow.
And certain groups want to take bigger risks with that money in order to generate more profit. In other words, they want the health ministry to use taxpayer money to gamble. They believe that's the only way to rebuild Japan's faltering economy and secure the future of this country.
I mean, would it work?
Of course, if the gamble actually pays off. But if we lost the gamble, then we wouldn't be able to guarantee anything for the citizens of this country in their golden years. That's why the health ministry manages those funds conservatively, even if it means the returns are lower.
Okay. I'm starting to understand now.
I'm not.
You do? Don't leave me in the dust, Yagami-san.
To be able to gamble all this taxpayer money to save the economy, they need a change of management. And here's Kusumoto-san, head of the office, and she's beyond the control of even the ministers. Her position has the power to take action, to override the way the pension fund is managed. But not only does Kusumoto-san have the power, she has the support of the people. If a new vice minister were to try it, they'd be stopped cold by the constraints.
So that's why they wanted to find her weakness and exploit it?
Exactly. And if the 160 trillion yen gamble were to fail, they could blame the whole thing on Kusumoto-san anyway.
Okay. But wow. 160 trillion.
I'm guessing they've already contacted you about it?
That's an assumption.
Not gonna ask about the son. He's still in the
I have to
coma.
ask you about Shinya Kawai. You killed him 5 years ago. With your own hands, didn't you?
Yep.
I understand what your feelings must be towards Kawai. But was that really the only answer?
If you've spoken to Kitakata-sensei, then you must know about the video of how Mitsuru was treated.
I do.
Aside from Kawai, the other students pretended like nothing happened. They took no responsibility. They put on their sad faces, and they came to visit Mitsuru at the hospital. But looking back on it now, I don't think they really wanted Mitsuru to wake up. In fact, that's what they were checking on. And what did I do? I bowed my head and thanked them. It was only later that Kitakata-sensei showed me the video. That's when I knew that those kids going unpunished was wrong.
Dang.
And your solution was to pull them into the quagmire? Make them accomplices in murdering Kawhi?
If you already know so much, what more do you need to ask?
Do I have to?
How's your son doing now?
He could wake up any minute now. Of course, that's been true for the last 13 years.
I see.
We transferred him to Toto University Hospital just this year, hoping they could spur his recovery. But it turns out they don't do anything much different from the previous hospital. All I can do is wait.
They don't ask what they do before they transfer?
I get it.
I really had to ask everything.
Let me reiterate. We are not your enemy.
Then please, let me go.
Anything you want me to tell Kawana?
I do. He needs to run. Far away. Public security has their sights on him. His capture is not a question of if, but when. He's in danger if he remains in the country.
Not when he got
And
them
once public
360
security
crane
has him,
kicks.
They will extract everything he knows.
You mean he'd be tortured?
Yes. Somewhere well beyond the public eye. No one can withstand what they do. He'd tell them everything. And as for me...
They would expose your vulnerability, making you their pawn.
Most likely. They'd gamble away the taxpayers' money, and I'd never purge the corruption in the health ministry.
I get that. But what does it matter?
What?
Because in my opinion, you need to turn yourself in, Kusumoto-san.
You want me to admit to manslaughter? You think I killed a real man? I say he was less than one.
Dang.
Shinya Kawai. He was little more than a subhuman brute.
Dang.
And you saw it. You saw what that brute did to my son.
There's a few WWE moves.
I hated Kitakata-sensei. He was an incompetent teacher. An idiot who turned a blind eye to Mitsuru being tortured. But that changed when he suddenly showed up 8 years later. And then he showed me that video. He said, every bully in that video, they deserved to be punished. That it was the only way to get closure.
You took him up on it? But you of all people should have known better.
True. You're right about that. I struggled with it quite a bit. It's an unconscionable act, no matter how deep your animosity runs. But Kitakata-sensei's words hung on. I couldn't get them out of my head. I saw for myself. I went to Kamurocho, where I'd heard Kawai was working, at a girls' bar. So you know, after Mitsuru jumped that day, Kawai came to me in tears to apologize. I hadn't seen him in all that time. If he'd frozen in place when he saw me, if he'd been the slightest bit apologetic, I might have been able to stay my hand.
I take it he didn't do any of that.
Dang.
Right. He didn't even recognize my face. And that's hardly the worst part of it, actually. When he saw me, he took me for some bawdy cougar on the prowl for young men. If you've got the cash, I'll show you a good time, he said. All those tears he'd shed years earlier were a farce. But I knew that. Deep down, I'd already known that. That was it. That was the moment I lost all doubt about killing him. And as for those other kids who bullied Mitsuru, they should thank me they didn't share his fate.
Oh, dang.
But that's why. That's why I don't feel like I have any sins to atone for. Every night I pray he will wake up. What more can you ask me to endure?
Kawana said something similar. But you think you can repeat all that? This time say it to her.
Isn't that
A little awkward.
Sawa-san?
You and Koana can congratulate yourselves. You got vengeance on a monster. But what you're choosing not to see is that your actions had consequences for her. It's vicious. I've seen this before. Justice for one at the cost of another. Someone innocent always pays the price. I won't just sit here and watch as history tries to repeat itself.
Bars.
This phone isn't being traced by anyone. So, if you have a change of heart, just give me a call before you turn yourself in.
He's about to be like, get this shit off me.
That's all I had to say. We're back.
Impeccable timing. How did they get a taxi? And how did they get that clean suit? I want it. More
Glad you're
cutscene.
okay, Yagami-san?
Yeah.
You got the Gucci
I'm gonna go talk to
seats.
Koana. Need to tell him I met with Reiko Kusamoto.
He's gonna be pissed, you know? He's gonna try to rip you a new one.
That's true. So you might want to sit this one out.
You sure? 'Cause I'll totally take you up on that.
You don't want to fight? How much time I got? It's been 30 minutes already, bruh. Nope, then I gotta stop it. You see those enemies approaching me on the map? They're trying to stop me. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one.